Hello everyone, welcome back to Times Drive and to the latest episode of Times Drive Ada. And today we have with us Mr. Dinesh Arjun, who is the CEO of Raptee T30, not EV but HV. But Dinesh, let's start with the story behind HV, the high voltage technology that you're using in this Raptee EV. What's the story behind that, and why the high voltage technology? Why backing that or going with that?
No, first of all, thanks Ankur for having me here, and thanks for coming down to Chennai to take a ride on our motorcycles. So fundamentally, what we're trying to do is bring a new powertrain architecture for electric motorcycles. Electric cars became better than their petrol-powered counterparts when electric cars adopted high voltage. We're simply bringing the same change to motorcycles. The goal here is we want to make electric motorcycles feel like an upgrade to petrol-powered motorcycles out there. And that's what we're trying to do with high voltage. What high voltage basically does is that it reduces the efficiency losses that are gone away as heat, and that's what we're removing. Because of that, you get a couple of main benefits. One, you get consistent performance. You don't just do high speeds, but you can do high speeds for the entirety of the charge. Your speeds don't drop that significantly. Second, your reliability of all of the components improve. Today, one of the key challenges is customers face is that they don't know how long, whether these vehicles will be as reliable as a petrol-powered vehicle, right? So high voltage at a fundamental level makes all of these subcomponents, not just the battery pack, but the motor, the controller, all of it a lot more reliable. And most importantly, it also helps us use public charging and charge very fast at home. We're roughly about 4 times faster than any other electric two-wheeler in the market, both in terms of home charging, where we charge in about an hour, and at public charging, we charge in about 30 minutes in the largest public charging network today.
Also, we'll talk about the CCS2 charger in the later part.
Sure.
But let's talk about the product itself also. I mean, this is your first product, the T30,
Yes,
and this is the T30S.
Right.
There's a difference in design between both the variants, but the price and everything is technology and the features are all same. So, what are you offering in these bikes in terms of range and in terms of power figures? Battery pack, what is the capacity? If you can share a few details about that.
Absolutely. The T30 and the T30S are the first motorcycles from the HV stable. These vehicles are created to kind of maximize the impact of what high voltage can bring to motorcyclists today. Both of these are largely meant for the urban performance rider, somebody who's relatively going to keep using these motorcycles within the city, but can also do the occasional ride because of charging, long ride because of charging, right? These vehicles will have a 135 kilometer top speed, a 0 to 60 in about 3.5 seconds, pumped with all features, about 200 kilometers of range, charging speeds fastest in the segment, and more importantly, we've also got a lot of tech built in. We have onboard navigation, which we've built on Raptee maps. More importantly, even the cluster runs something called Raptee OS, which is built on the first in the segment automotive grade Linux, which makes the entire user experience extremely seamless and intuitive. So that's what we're starting with.
अब अगर दिनेश बात करें जो टू व्हीलर इलेक्ट्रिक व्हीकल्स का पेनिट्रेशन या ग्रोथ पिछले कुछ सालों में हमने देखा है, एक मेजर चंक यस ऑफ कोर्स वहाँ पे स्कूटर्स का है, बड़ा चंक है, लेकिन जो इलेक्ट्रिक बाइक्स हैं वहाँ पर एक तो अभी फ़िलहाल बहुत ज़्यादा प्लेयर्स नहीं हैं, एक आध ही प्लेयर्स हैं जहाँ पर, और जो लेगेसी प्लेयर्स हैं वहाँ उनकी तरफ से भी कोई इलेक्ट्रिक बाइक देखने नहीं मिली है. सो स्कूटर की बजाय वाई इलेक्ट्रिक मोटरसाइकिल, एंड जो आप आने वाले समय में इन कमिंग ईयर्स व्हाट काइंड ऑफ ग्रोथ आर यू एक्सपेक्टिंग in the electric bike market, and what are your future predictions?
No, absolutely. No, that's exactly why we exist, right? The problem today in the market is that there aren't products in motorcycles, right? It's not that the customers don't want to buy electric motorcycles. It's simply that there aren't good products, or rather there aren't many products in the market at all. You are left with very few options that are still not the best practical replacement to
the ICE vehicles.
Exactly, right? And with all due respect to all the players, today the logic here is that the scooter technology is something that we borrowed from the Far East, which had already perfected that technology. For today, electric scooters are already surpassing pedal-powered scooters in terms of usability and utility. But that's not really the scene in motorcycles, and that's what we want to change. And we really believe that high voltage, not only with Raptee, but we want the entire market to adopt high voltage to take this benefit forward, right? We believe that today, like how scooters are at 15%, electric motorcycles can also reach similar types of penetration. And we believe we want to help push that adoption over the next 4-5 years into 15% and above. Government of India is looking at a 30% penetration by 2030, and I think motorcycles will play a very crucial part in that.
Now, another challenge that was there a few years back, right? In current scenario, I would say, there is more awareness in terms of how you can charge your vehicle, about the charging network. The network is also expanding at a decent pace. But another major thing that is there in this T30 is the CCS2 charging option that is not there in any of the electric two-wheeler, either scooter or bikes. So what is the thing behind it? Why you have given this CCS2 charger, which is compatible with the car charging network, and the person or the individual who will be buying this bike can use this network, which is a huge network compared to the two-wheeler network. So why CCS2 and what were the challenges?
Absolutely. No, so one, we spoke about performance. Second, we spoke about reliability, but practicality of use is very important, right? A customer shouldn't have to worry about charging. They shouldn't have to carry a very large charger alongside them. Think about carrying an 8 kilo charger in your backpack. Your backpack or with your laptop and everything doesn't weigh 8 kilos, right? So what's the point of carrying a charger with a motorcycle if you have to tug that around everywhere? That's something that we wanted to solve from day one. Today, almost all two-wheelers, if not all, are asking you to kind of be happy with home charging. There's more or less, public charging is non-existent, right? But when you look at cars have an extremely wide charging network. That's what we want to leverage. Today, because of the high voltage drivetrain that we brought in, we become the only electric two-wheeler that can piggyback on the electric car charging infrastructure. Just like how you drive an electric car into a Shell petrol bunk or a GeoBP bunk or any of these public charging stations, you walk in, you open the lid, and then you plug it in directly. No adapters, no chargers required. You don't have to carry anything along with you.
And along with that, there's another thing that you can also use the car chargers to charge this bike.
Absolutely. At home, we're looking at the USB-C equivalent of electric vehicles, where you use, in case you have a Nexon or a Kona or a Tesla, use the same cable that charges from your house plug to your vehicle. You plug it in the same way and it charges. You're not expected to carry around anything at all.
And what's the highest charging capacity that can take?
Absolutely. So we can use any DC charger which has CCS2, which is almost all of them. The power it will pull is about 7 kilowatt. So anything above 7 kilowatt, our vehicle should do. Most of the chargers today in India operate above 30 kilowatts, so you shouldn't be having any troubles with that at all, because they're all built for cars. At home, it charges at 3.3 kilowatt, which is again the fastest charging at home. We have an onboard charger built in, so you don't have to carry a charger. And more importantly, the onboard charger and the charging cables do not come at any additional cost. All of the features that I just mentioned are standard with the vehicle cost in mind. Yeah.
At 2.39 lakhs.
Exactly. At 2.39 lakhs, you get the industry's fastest onboard charger, industry's lightest carry-on cable, industry's first motorcycle that can leverage CCS charging, largest charging network.
So we saw the first experience center of Raptee that is here in Chennai itself, and you shared that the next experience center will be in Bengaluru.
Right.
So what are your expansion plans, where all customers who are interested in your product can expect the Raptee experience centers to be, especially in the south region first, and later you said you will be expanding towards the north and the other areas?
Absolutely. No, we've got a bunch of bookings already, so our focus is going to be on delivering it to these customers. Largely because
sorry to interrupt, what is the number of bookings that you have received?
We got close to about 8,000 bookings so far. Because our visibility has been largely in the south, so this has been from southern cities. But more importantly, we've got some hotspots in NCR and Mumbai as well. So we're starting off with Chennai and Bangalore for this year, that is 2025. The next calendar year, 2026, we want to be in all South Indian state capitals and then start moving over to Pune and NCR.
Cool. Thank you, Dinesh.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Yeah.
Thank you so much.